Ursula, she was a beautiful seal. All of the netting that she was entangled with was all red from the blood.
You can physically pick them up and hear the plastic moving around in their stomach.
How much pain and suffering happens in our oceans and nobody's watching.
Inside these birds, we found things like bottle caps and pen lids and like balloon clips. We found one bird had eaten over 200 pieces, and that was about 12% of its body weight was just plastic. Finding birds that are barely able to move, barely able to pick their heads up, which can be really quite devastating. Pretty much in every single bird that we looked at, these are birds that are only about 3 months old and are still fighting to survive. They're still trying to get to the ocean. Unfortunately, flushing plastics out may just be a temporary solution to really alleviate some discomfort and pain, but it may be too late for those birds, unfortunately, and particularly with the scar tissue. We have no cure for that. We've only just discovered it.
Between February and April, so literally 2 months, 9 seals have come in that have been entangled. From those 9, half of them are pups. Seals are very inquisitive, so they'll go up to see what actually is this. So when something's floating, they'll go to put their head in to see, and that causes the entanglement. So fishing gear, but also flying rings are actually one of the most common reasons. They're becoming bigger, and the restriction just starts to get tighter as they're getting older and older, which then means it actually starts to cut into their flesh. This then leads to infection. This starts to expose muscle. Sometimes it can be so tight that it'll expose bone. This can lead to sepsis. This could lead to lots of other issues. And basically, long term, as it gets tighter and tighter, the seal is going to become so weak that he'll stop hunting and they'll just emaciate, starve, and die. Ursula was one of the first entangled adults we got this year. She was like a sub-adult, roughly 4-ish years old, 100-ish kilos approximately, and she was a beautiful seal. And when she came in, she was covered in blood. All of the netting that she was entangled with was all red from the blood, and it was horrible to see, and the amount of blood that was just coming off her. You will always be able to tell in the wild if a seal was entangled because they will have a ring around them. Perfectly healed, but they will have a ring, a permanent ring, just the way we get scars.
Of all the sea turtles that are swimming in our oceans right now, that probably between 50 and up to 80%, and probably more, that's very conservative, have plastic in their stomachs.
It's not only seals, we're seeing it with dolphins, we're seeing it with whales, we're seeing it with turtles.
The humans were definitely at the initial stages of this research field. We look in lung, but also human vein in human blood. Now we have liver, kidney, placenta, breast milk. So I think that we can agree that microplastics are now in the human body. Microplastics in our lung exacerbate existing conditions like chronic cough. I would say we know far less, and people are less aware that microplastics are in the human body. So we seem to have this lag of information and public perhaps perception.
Rip the loop, where whatever you have that has a loop, if you're getting cans of beer that are with the plastic, cut it when you're done. The ocean is so massive, but the number of marine protection areas that we actually have are very minimal. So increasing the marine protection areas to give animals safe havens for them to be able to breed, populate, and recover.
To monitor the levels of microplastics in the environment, in foodstuffs, and to agree methods on how to measure them and how to report these levels. And that would help the scientific community, because we would finally all be using similar methods and approaches. Then the data can accumulate and grow. And as we do that, then the regulators, the people who make the laws, can start to think about how they're going to regulate. And then if we have the methods harmonized, we can do the regulation.
I'm really in support of any action to reduce the impacts of plastic pollution, but I feel like we need to do it in a way that is both based in science and empathetic to the needs of communities.
Because you care, because you've got the passion, and because you've got the drive to instigate change. The moment we stop caring is the moment we stop moving forward.